Hello and welcome Sunday night chat. How's everyone been doing? Did everyone get the alarm if you're in the UK? Did everyone get the hang on a second. There you go. That was my some messages coming through there. Yeah, so did everyone get the alarm that came through on the phones? We all did on all of our phones. Obviously, we were expecting it anyway, but I know some people forgot about it. But yeah, we all got it. I hope everyone else is doing good and everyone is doing okay this Sunday. It's come over very cloudy where we are. It's sort of been raining on and off today, so we've had some really good weather. But today's been a bit horrible. Hi Scott, how's it going? Yeah, we had a good weekend, thank you. I hope you had one too. David, hi Dave. Ian, hi Ian, how's it going? And Mark's in the house, hi Mark. Yeah, so what's been happening this week? A few things. Something turned up from Partwork Upgrades, and I've been filming some of this, but I'm going to show you one anyway. So these are things that have come out from Partwork Upgrades, and they are the hoverboards from Back to the Future, and they come in these really nice little cases. There's five of them. Ian has kindly sent me the 5. I'm doing a video on the whole lot that I've got, where I'm going to be painting some and not painting some. So what's in the box? That's right, Ian. Little instructions on there, but they're really, really, really nice. And the good thing about these is that one, they come in a little case, so everything you need is in here. They even come with the glue and all the decals and everything that you need to build the hoverboards. And obviously you can paint them as well. And there's loads of different ways that you can do it. You could probably even add magnets to it as well. But these are really, really nice, lovely little things. And a video is coming this week with me showing all of them off, because I've got all 5 here. And I'm going to be painting some as well and leaving some. I'm going to show you actually what they're like unpainted and what they're like painted. So some of them will be painted, some of them won't be. But a video is coming this week. And it's the reason I've shown you that one is because it's the only one I haven't done yet. I've done the other ones, but I haven't done that one yet. But yeah, there is a video coming in, which will be on. It'll be sometime this week. But I've built all of them except this one, because I wanted to show people tonight on the live stream what they are, and I think they're brilliant. I've already got plans for the little boxes, by the way. They're really handy, these little boxes. And it's great that you've put the glue, and it's sort of a self-contained little model kit. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Love these. But yeah, I have painted some, I've unpainted some, and the video will be out this week. Coming, we've also done the under £50 challenge. Kirsty actually done this one, so she wanted to get on with a bit of the action. So she's got a video coming out this week of her unboxing something that she picked up for under £50, so that'll be cool. Also as well, if you have been following my Alien build, you'll know that I got every issue and I had trouble with issue 99. I've been in touch with Hachette. They said that I can subscribe to the build when I get to that point. So if I need to buy an extra pack, say pack 12, when it gets to pack 12, I can actually just buy pack 12, the one I need. Really, I can buy that one, pay it, and then just cancel the subscription afterwards if I need to get that pack. But it does mean I'll get 4. And falling on that, we've got Agora as well. And if Agora are watching, thank you so much. They said that they would send me the issue that I need when they get it. So I've got 2 assurances there from both companies. So the Alien will definitely get finished. It's just that one issue that I'm stuck on. Obviously, Agora have said that it will be a while before I can get it from them. but there's also Hachette as well I can go fall back on. So hopefully it'll be finished at the end of the year. But apart from that, the build's all done. The videos will keep appearing on the channel, so that's all right. And that's it, where the alien build is. Apart from that, every other build is sort of okay, really. The big news for the Robocop build, for the channel, that is coming in a later video. Maybe this week, maybe next week. I'm waiting for something to turn up to then do a video on it. But yeah, there will be some news coming on. So I don't want to let anything slip just yet. But yeah, there will be a video soon, hopefully, on that. It all depends if things turn up at the right time and everything else. I'm just waiting for things to turn up. But yeah, it's by the way, it's to do with the channel and the build. It's not like the build is coming out. I've already asked Fan Home, and they said if it's announced, they'll announce it. But I'm surprised if it was coming out. I'm pretty sure it would have been announced already, and it was on a limited release over in France. So yeah, I don't know what's actually happening there with that. It may still come out over here. If I get any information, I'll let everybody know, obviously. But the information that I've got is that it isn't yet. But then again, it could change. I mean, they haven't said anything to me. No information has come my way. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to announce it next week. But I would imagine with all the stuff that's coming through Fan Home at the moment, it's not going to appear anytime soon, just because the amount that Fan Home are actually going through at the moment. If you're waiting for Ecto and the Enterprise build, good news. We should have some information this week. I think they said the 26th. So I think that's, hang on a second, that's Wednesday. So we should have something on Wednesday. Apparently that's when it goes to, pre-order, so we can let Fan Home know what issue we need to start from. And then it's going to take a couple of months for them to sort them out. And then I think they said June, July time, they're going to start shipping out everybody's packs from there. Fingers crossed, this is the last hurdle that we need to finish the Enterprise and the Ecto. I know it's taken such a long time, but with everything that's going on at the minute, it's understandable. So yeah, we just have to wait. Robocop has recently started building in Belgium, I believe. Yeah, so I know it started in some other countries as well. It was on a limited release. I think it's on a limited release there as well, actually. So yeah, I think it's on a limited release there. It was definitely on a limited release when it was released in France. Maybe that's the sort of a license that they've got for it. But if it does come out here in the UK, it will be under the Fan Home banner. So I'm on issue 60 here in Hungary. Yeah, I've got up to issue 72 here. But like I said, there's things coming, and yeah, I'm just waiting for other things to turn up so I can announce what's going on with that build. So, and it sounds, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's really, really raining heavily here. Really heavily. But yeah. So did everyone get their alert? Did everyone in the UK, did you all get your alerts? I mentioned it at the start. But yeah, it was a bit, it's a bit scary, isn't it? Realizing that they've got, they can just access your phone like that. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's probably the only time we'll ever get that alert down here. It's supposed to be things like if there's flood or like forest fires and all that. Well, one, we don't live near a forest, and two, we live on a hill, so the whole town and everything else would have to flood quite badly before we would even get anywhere near flooding. So I think it would be used if you live anywhere near like that. But for us, I'm hoping we never actually hear it ever again. But there you go. Have you heard about the voice language for it? Yeah, it's in French. So yeah, if you need, if the person to talk to is Horlicks. So if you can contact Horlicks, he might be able to set up a an Arduino or even build a board for you to do that. I know Ian is a wizard for things like that as well. So he might be worth speaking to, but the voice box in the French version of Robocop is French, and we weren't too sure when it came out. So yeah, it does some machine noises as well, but it is French. Yeah. So I hope that helps, Scott. Hi Neil, how's it going? But yeah, there's not much more really that's been going on in the world of models and partworks and stuff like that. We're at that calming period now between in the summer. So from April till September is normally very, very, very quiet in partworks, and we're also if you're building anything new, either from January, February onwards, or your build finishes this sort of time, summertime, the months that we're in, it's sort of like a slow, sort of boring sort of couple of months, just because there's not a lot of information comes out. We're sort of built into the builds at the start, or we're coming to the end, so we want them to hurry up and finish. But yeah, I know the Iron Man is due to finish I think there's only two packs left to finish that. That's if you were building the damaged parts of Iron Man. I think there was only two packs left, which works out quite well actually, because if you want to build anything else, it's sort of around the time when they would all start picking up again. I have actually forgotten something that started this week. And there's also other things starting in the summer as well, which is really strange. Normally partworks don't start in the summer. So what started this week, which came out on Tuesday, was the Iron Man the Marvel Infinity Gauntlet. So that was a notify me. It went from notify me, pre-order, subscribe, all in the course of a couple of hours. But it has been released, and if you sign up now and you pay for the first pack, you should, fingers crossed, you should receive it before the first May bank holiday. And also, we have 3 bank holidays here in the UK in May, and that will cause sort of disruption with post, but also you're receiving stuff from subscriptions, especially through Hachette, because for some reason they seem to, when there's a bank holiday here for Hachette, it seems to pause everything for a couple of days, which pushes everything back. So normally when something would get delivered or posted out, like on a Monday, because it's bank holiday, I think it's pushed back a day, and it just creates a sort of ripple effect for about a week. So just to let you know that we do have 2 bank holidays. 2 of them are very close together, and that's because of the coronation. We normally have one at the start of May, the May bank holiday, May 1st, and then we normally have one at the end of May, but we've actually got 3 this year because of the coronation. So that will cause disruption. I'm not too sure on disruption for like Agora or Fanhome, but definitely with Hachette there will be a disruption. Always tends to happen with Hachette. I don't know why. Do you know anything about Robocop's data stick on Agora's? Oh yeah, it shows among the pictures. Will we get it with the build? Well, actually, issue 70, we're actually building the other arm. and it's on that arm, because I do believe on the right arm his gun and his holster is on that side, I do believe, or is it on the opposite side? I can't remember. No, I think it's on the left side, isn't it? His holster. No, his holster should be on the right side. Yes, sorry. So his right side is his holster with his gun, and I think the spike comes out of the left hand, which we're currently building at the moment. Or you should be currently building at the moment, whoever's up that far. I need to really catch up on that. But you should have it, because the hand is slightly different because of the data spike. Lots of people have a bit of speculation about how that hand's going to be built or incorporated, or whether it's going to be an add-on section that you just stick in, a bit like the Hot Toys version. So with the Hot Toys version, it's sort of like something that sticks into the hand, sticks on like a bit like a magnet that sticks on so you can have it. I think it may be something like that. Also as well, a few people messaged me saying, would I know if Robocop will be doing like the damage sections? As far as I'm aware, no. It's just going to be clean. And they definitely won't be doing the rocket launcher machine gun accessory for it. But there's probably, I would imagine there's going to be a mod for that section. And we'll get onto the alien build in a minute, because it has all kicked off with that, and I'll explain why. Hi, Kenneth. It's sunny here in Georgia. You're lucky. It's absolutely chucking it down here. Love your videos. Thank you. I have the completed kit from Eagle Moss, James Bond, Aston Martin in the mail this week. Nice. How'd you get that? That came out of production a long time ago, that one. I'm hoping, actually, something that Agora haven't mentioned is what they're. I think they did say that they were going to release, obviously this year, 1 or 2 of the Batman of the James Bond cars, but we haven't heard anything yet. But the fat lady hasn't sung yet. The year's not over, so anything could happen still. Also, as well, not only has the Infinity Gauntlet been released, but Optimus Prime should get released sometime in, fingers crossed, in June, July time. So just as the Enterprise is starting to come out, we should have Optimus Prime as well. In the promo, you can see the jetpack from Iron Man 3. Ooh, maybe they are going to import that then. I know there was a discussion on the French side about would that be included, and a lot of people said not really. They think they're just going to keep it basic. But as we've seen with the Iron Man, when they done the damage sections for the Iron Man, the first anyone knew about it is when the collection carried on. So it's highly possible that could happen, but I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see if they do the arm, the bazooka arm, and the reason for that is because it's taking that section on and off. But yeah, we'll taking that section on and off will be a bit of a nightmare, a bit of a pain. So if a mod does come along, it'd have to be done before you build the rest of the arm. So yeah, but anything can happen with these builds. Anything, you know. I'll find it eBay for a good price, and it will come with a display case and everything. Oh, nice. Kev, are you building the Robocop? There is a video coming out very soon. I think I've mentioned it, that there's a video coming out soon and discussing what's happening with the Robocop build. But I'll speak to you in the week about that, Ian. But yeah, I can give you any information you need, but I can talk to you about that, what's going on with that, in the week if you like. Yes, so the alien build. So it's completely kicked off over in France. They've actually put together a petition, signature one that they've done, a bit like the .gov ones that they do here. You know, the ones where they get enough signatures and then it has to be discussed in Parliament. They've done a similar thing in France with the alien build, believe it or not, to try and get compensation or to try and fix the parts that are wrong with the Alien build from Hachette. I mean, it's gone completely crazy. And it all stems as well. There's discussion as well of them pulling it early. So normally when a collection finishes, it stays in the newsagents, or you can still order the spare parts and stuff and issues for about 6 months. Normally it's roughly about 6 months. This one was 2 months, and stuff is broken, stuff isn't working, they can't reorder stuff, and it's not looking good at all, because they're trying to find out a lot of information. So there's been no discussion on the longevity of the skin, so no one knows how long that will literally last for before, with expanding, and I think it will last a couple of years at least. I mean, it's thick enough to last, but they want to know a longevity on that. Some of the joints aren't very good. The main problem with the Alien build is it's prone to fall over, and this is why, because it's top heavy, and the tail sort of swoops out and around, which tends to want it to push over. The tail connection is just done by Velcro, and the stand is only on the tail. So the tail goes in, and then the stand that you get is like a U shape, and the tail sits in this U shape. And what's happening is lots and lots of them are falling over. I'm aware of quite a few. If you go on any of the French Facebook groups, you will see complaint after complaint. It's not everyone, and some people have said they've not had a problem. I've spoken to people here in the UK, they said they haven't, but lots of people have left it and it's fallen over, either with no help, or if they've knocked it and it's fallen straight over. The stand, I think they should have done a crutch stand to hold it, so it's more stable. In fact, I was surprised that they went with the stand that they did, and they didn't do one similar to the Terminator, where it sort of hooks onto the back or something. That was another thing as well. The battery box compartment is behind the 4 tubes that sit on the back of the Alien, and they're only held on with 6 magnets, but they're the same 6 magnets that are used. They're the little round magnets that you use to secure the skin on. And it's not been good. Let's put it that way. It's everything happened. Everyone was happy with it. Now, after the dust has settled, not a lot of people are very happy with it, and think that for the price point, it's a little bit of a cheek. And because when it's toppled over, we've had people have had breakages either on the hips or on the ankles, or even on the chest and all of that. And normally what they would do in France is just order those parts that are broke, but you can't order nothing. There's nowhere to order it, which they kind of feel as well is bad as well. So there's a lot of partitions about that. Also as well, they've said that because the ankle and the hip joints are all plastic, that they're prone to break very easily, and manipulating them is not very good. Also as well, like I said, the lack of sounds, the lack of lighting on the base, it's all contributed to a complete mess over there, really. And there's a lot of people that are not very happy over in France. But it doesn't take a lot for them, really. I shouldn't really say that. They are not happy. Let's just put it that way. They are not happy. Alien build, I've heard a lot of people contact me about the fixes. Yeah, and if you can get those fixes in now, it would help a lot of people in the US and here in the UK that are building it, because the problems don't start occurring until we start building the things like the leg and the arms. At the moment, I think people are on pack 2. It's not until you start building up, you know, pack 4, maybe pack 5, when we start building these parts, where you're going to get it all in. But it's interesting because the thing like the battery pack, the tail, the sound effects, all of them are really can be done after the build has been built. I suppose that's the saving grace from it, because the tail, the electrics, the battery box, the base, you don't get any of that until right near the end, issue 97, 98, 99, 100. That's when you start getting those bits. Issue 99, as you know, the one I'm waiting for, holds all the electrics, the sensors, the battery pack, the main motherboard is all in that one issue. And the tail can come in and out. Some people are actually displaying their Alien without the tail in because of the way it goes in and out and the way that it's held on. But there is some people that have come up with fixes. So people have added lights to the base, sound effects to the base, and have also reinforced it. So the pelvis in between the legs, people have started to put a pole, drill a hole right in the middle of it, and a pole right through the bottom, and it sort of sits on that pole, holds it perfect. And so some people are saying, well, why couldn't they have done that before? I mean, why have they come up with this really bad? So I'm wondering if they knew it was bad and that's why they've pulled it, and probably is why it's on a subscription only here, because they've probably made a lot of money on it, and to not bring it out would lose them a lot of money. So I'm wondering whether they know it's bad and that's why they've done it the way they have. I don't know. But yeah, there is a lot of problems with it. I also got a good price for a bid for $65 for the Eaglemoss Back to the Future issues 160 coming in the mail next week. Nice one. So you can start that when fan homes start up. You can tell them that you're on issue 40 and start from there. That's a good thing. I've heard the last issues of Alien are a bit boring, as it's just the tail over and over again. Yeah. So yeah, as you get closer to the end, around about issue 90, it's just the end parts of the tail. And you'll see in the videos that I do anyway, you'll see it all build up and the tail come together. But yeah, there is still the chest section, and you've got the pipes, and you sort of build it up as you go along. But I fell out of love, as you know, I fell out of love with the Alien build. Building it, you know, the legs and the arms, it broke me. You know what? It's going to be one of those builds, and I've said it many times, it's going to be one of those builds where I swore blue murder over this thing, and this thing is broken me. But I think the end result is really, really good. Actually, I think if you build this, if you can get past those bits that I've done, and most other people have, if you can get past that and get to the finished article, I think you'd be really, really happy with the end result. In fact, a lot of people that have said they've had problems with the build and have moaned and you know, bit their lip through it and all of that, even in France, have said, despite all the problems, despite the skin, despite the lack of die cast, despite the lack of noises and lights and whatnot, they're really, really impressed with the end result, and they're really happy that they built it. And I feel that as well. I feel, despite everything that's gone on with it, I think it'll be really good at the end of the day. Really nice. And I can see that when I'm building it. So, evening would have been a better build with mini aliens. Eaglemoss already do those ships, but I know what you're talking about. I think what they did is the Terminator, with the success of the Terminator, I think they were just on a high, and I think when it got previewed, we were a bit giddy about it because we were like, oh my god, the Alien's coming out! What a fantastic build! but like I said, it's a very much love-hate relationship with the build. And I think, you know, if you're building it, good luck. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck. You'll be happy with the end result. And like I said, if you can grit and bear it and get through the legs and the arms, because that's the part, like I said, that's the part that broke me. That's the part that will break you. That's the part that will make you question why you've done it. But the chest and the pelvis and all that's a beautiful build. Comes together really well. You got the skin on it, but it just comes together really well, and you're getting different parts. The problem with the with any build that you build as a figure, you know, once you've done one hand, you've got to then do the other. And there's ways of doing it. Like I said, I learned going through it better ways to do it. So I learned that the magnets do nothing, literally nothing. Because I was always worried that there wasn't enough magnets on it. The magnets don't hold. They do not hold anything. If you stick the magnets on and the parts with the magnets, it will just fall off. They're not strong enough to hold the skin on. You know, you've got to glue it on anyway. You've got to stitch it and glue it. And because of the tight fit, you didn't need on some sections. I don't think you really need the glue, the magnets anyway. And they're so weak. Some of them are so weak, and because they're so small, I also found as well that cable tying the skin. I found that out later on, but you know, it is what it is. But I should have done that right from the start. So as you glue the skin together, you cable tie it so it sort of holds it together and lets the glue sort of proper set, so it's hard. And then when you take those off, there's not a problem. But my argument with that was a lot of people said that's a good idea, but you shouldn't really need to do that with these builds. You should build it as it says how to build it. You find that with a lot of things. I know a lot of people use oil. I don't, but I know a lot of people do because it helps. The screws go in. I'm surprised that companies haven't gone, okay, we'll supply a little bit of oil with some of the parts. I know when I originally did my very, very first part work, which was, I think it was in 2011, it was the McLaren MP4, I think it was. It came with oil. It was like in a little sachet, a bit like that, and you ripped it and you dipped things into it, a little bit of oil, but they don't do any of that anymore. I'm wondering whether it's a cost thing. But yeah, you kind of see these things and you kind of go, oh, that's a good idea. But it's the sort of thing where I go, it's good, but we shouldn't really be needing to do that because it hasn't said to us. It helps, but it's everything. Hi, Greg. Evening. Sorry, I'm late. My submarine wheels got a puncture. That's okay. Mariner. Yeah. Good news. The VW Camper is out in Hungary, and I've subscribed last Thursday. Happy times. Funny subscribed to the hippie van. Nice. Hi, Steve. How's it going? As I'm not building it myself, I need folks to send me the broken parts so I can look, design, and fix. Otherwise, I'm a little blind to it. Yeah, like I said, nothing's broken on mine, and it's weird because there was 4 other people. I know of 4 other people, including myself, that were building the Alien here in the UK. We've all got the same. We've all got like the same collective thing is where we're saying it wasn't very good. Some bits broke her, some bits weren't this, but all of us have said we're happy with the end result. It's really nice. But none of us have really had any problems with it, though they've had lots of problems in France. I haven't had, well, mine's in bits still, but I haven't had the problem with any of my bits. And the other guys said that they haven't really neither. We've all sort of taken precautions. We've sort of seen that it's good and bad, and when it comes to standing, we all sort of sent pictures and we're talking about how to stand it. I think some people will just stand it upright, and that's fine. In fact, that's how they in the magazine. That's how they show you it should be. It should just be standing straight upright, and that's it. But it is a bit of a balancing act. So the best option that we've all come up with is not to have it straight on the base. So you got the base and you stick it on, and a bit like the Terminator, straight on. Actually, the Alien works better if it's on an angle. If it's at the side, looking at the side of the base, because then there's more of it on the base, if you know what I mean, and you can actually bend it a little bit more and stabilize it. It's good to stabilize it and get it yourself. I know some people are asking about sort of cases, but you won't be able to get a case for this, a display case, because the tail sticks out, I would say, probably by about that much from the base itself, because it sort of swoops round and comes out. So it's sort of it comes quite far out of the base. Some people I've seen have turned the tail and had it come out through the leg. It looks weird like that. It sort of swoops out. I think the problem is as well is the tail's not articulated. So the tail is a straight section which you can't move, and because of the bum bit that you stick it in, the base that you stick it into the base of the Alien, it's one shape, so that you can't sort of turn it another way. But there's definitely mods there, that is for sure. Especially the lack of lights on the base, and the lack of sound as well on the base and stuff like that. There's definitely room for improvement. It's probably one of the builds where I've looked at it and gone, it really does need modding. Like I said, the three main things that I can see that it would need, four actually, that I can see would need modding near enough straight away would be the power pack, lighting on the base, sound effects, and the stand, because they're the main sticking points, not only for here but also for for France as well. They're also coming up with that problem. The four main things. I think it's just a problem build. I don't want to keep banging on about it because it's I don't want people going, oh, he's going on about the Alien again. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I'm now more looking forward to Optimus Prime as my next sort of exciting build. I see that people got their Tumblr subscription, which is really good, and Before News Agents as well, which is a bonus. But the last two issues, issue 9 and 10, yeah, are very, very, very much lacking in content, I've got to say. So issue 9 is the rim for the tyre. So you can't do that without the tyre. And you get a little cross section that goes in for the steering. That's it. If you see my video, I'm glad that it made a lot of people laugh because I wanted that effect. I know what these builds are like. I've built lots of them. I know that, you got things like the Iron Man and stuff like that where you're getting just a finger. So I know it, but it was just one of those ones where I thought it could be turned into a bit of a comedy, a bit of a laugh video. So that's what I did. The next video, issue 10, is literally just the tyre. And all we're doing is grabbing the rim that we had with issue 9 and the tyre, and that's it. Yeah. Issue 11, I think, is us connecting it to the bulkhead. So by issue 11, we should have both tyres on that bulkhead. And then we should be sort of doing more work on there, I think. I don't think that we're going to do any more, like, any work anywhere else yet, which is strange because I know what normally they do, didn't they? With every car build, they normally give you a wheel, one wheel, the hood and the grille, and then what they do is then they start on the back of the car, and and then you don't attach those bits until right near the very end. But with this build, it looks like what we're doing is we're building the front of the car first, and then we're going to move on to other things. So it's a really interesting one. We haven't moved off of that. You normally in the first 4 issues they give you a little taster, and then number 5 is when you start getting into the nitty gritty. But actually, we started in the nitty gritty straight away with this, and we haven't gone anywhere else. We've actually started on the front of the car, and we're still on the front of the car, issue 11. So yeah, it's a very interesting design. Like I said, it's one of those ones that's a little bit shrouded in mystery because we don't. Though you see the prototype in the advert, there's been no prototype advert like shown anywhere else. So no one knows if compartments can come off, if you can see the engine inside, what the engine's going to be like. We don't know whether this is going to be based on in-universe jet engine or real universe, which is just a sort of a roll cage with a V8 in it. It's going to be interesting, very interesting. I'm hoping that it's in-universe. I think that's what they're going to go for anyway. But I know a lot of people are wondering, well, if they do build jet engine that fits in the back, how will that work? I'm on the fence in that one. I don't know. Some people say it will just be the 2 parts and it will be put in because you won't be able to see it. But this is a part work. So no doubt we'll be building this whole jet engine. So we'll have little pipes on it, little blades that we'll probably have to put in and stuff like that. You know what these builds are like. If it's anything like the X-Wing, I know with the X-Wing you built the engine pods, and then you put all the little pipes in, and then you put a cover over it, and there's no way of ever seeing it ever again, ever. So it could be like that. I mean, the DeLorean was like that as well. I remember us building the engine, really detailed engine, and then putting the reactor on top of it. And obviously, to have access to that engine again, you would have to take the reactor off, all the little pipes, just to get to the engine. It is what it is, I suppose. It is. But yeah. Yes, it is, yeah. The framework of a Hummer. Yeah, it's... I think it was... if you look... I think all the videos and back to the... and the behind-the-scenes stuff was all on YouTube. You can check it all out. But it's all British. That's the good thing about this car, which is why I kind of like it. So it was all built and designed here in Britain, the Tumbler. But it was, I think it was based on the framework of a Hummer with a V8 in the back, and then it was a custom framework around it, and then they built the inverted steering and suspension, which lots of people said they couldn't do. Well, they did. And the one thing they did do on the Tumbler was to make it so it could actually do the stuff that it actually did on screen. So they made it so it could jump, that it could swing about, and it could drive and all of that, which is really good. Normally nowadays they CGI. I mean, they even CGI the cars on Fast and Furious. But with the Tumbler, there's almost no CGI at all in the Batman films for that. It's the real McCoy. You know, when it does the jumps, when it's jumping over the buildings, when it's driving over the cars, that was a proper vehicle. It wasn't nothing CGI, which is I find really, really good. But yeah, Mark, you're right. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting because, like I said, we build in the front of it, and the front is the front of that car, but it's the engine section and the bits behind on how they do it. And that there's going to be, I almost certain there's going to be some really big panels for this, because obviously it's sort of in a armored shell, if you like. So. And I don't see us building one panel here and one panel there. I think that they're going to be in like a single panel, which means we're probably going to get some really big parts. We've had some really big parts actually for the Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious. These side panels that come under the door, they were quite big. We had those 2 parts as well. So it's not out of the realm of what we can get and what they're going to do. It's gonna be interesting. It's very interesting. I love it already. Yeah, but there's that. The Disney Dollhouse is coming along really nicely. We've got another 2 issues, and then we've done the second floor. Well, the walls of the second floor, anyway, at least. And that's just come together so quickly, and it's so well built and really nice. I'm very, very impressed with that. Even though it was a build that Kirsty wanted to do and film and stuff like that, it's sort of become a labour of love for the both of us, and I've actually really enjoyed it as well. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much, but actually I really look forward to doing that each week and getting the parts, and I actually love that. Yeah, it's very much grown on me. I very much love the Disney Dollhouse. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's a very good build, But yeah, I don't know what else everyone wants to talk about. It's it's weird that we're going to have some summer releases. Normally, like I said, we normally get a big lull, don't we, in the summer, where you're sort of entrenched with builds already coming out, and they normally come out in sort of April, September to April. But this year, we've got all these builds coming out, all the ex-Eaglemoss builds coming out. We've got Optimus Prime as well coming out, all in the summer. So it's yeah, and also as well, starting from next week, the Agora Optimus Prime starts shipping out as well. I had a lot of people ask me when that was getting shipped out, and I was surprised they hadn't already, because I was under the impression that they were going to post that out around February, March time. It got pushed back. Then April came, nothing. And World of Wayne got his one in March. I think it was the 23rd or something like that of March. So a lot of people were like, "Oh, we're going to get ours very soon," and then nothing came. So I think a lot of people got a bit confused with that. I had a few messages from people asking me when it's getting released, and literally, I was talking to a contact with Agora, and when I found out, it sort of came out on their social media straight away. So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, I think it's from this week coming, next 2 weeks they're going to start shipping it out. So people should start getting their Optimus Prime from Agora over the next 2 weeks, which is really, really good news. And it's good that people are starting to get them out. So I'm happy for that. I'm not building it, but I'm wishing everyone the best on that build. I'm sure it will be awesome, regardless. But yeah, I'm more looking forward to the Optimus from Fan Home, because that's the movie one. I think that was a better build to go with, to be fair. I think there's more to it. It's more interesting than the G1. The G1 is very iconic. But I want the Bay form. I want the one from Michael Bay. Just personal preference, really, isn't it? It's just personal preference when it comes to that. Also, as well, we had two series end this week. So we had the Star Wars The Mandalorian. Though there has been a little talk behind the scenes on that one, if they're going to do season 4 or not. Originally, it was only going to be 3 seasons. And I think the way that they finished it, that's perfect. Leave it like that. It doesn't need to be touched now. I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I want to know what happens afterwards," but I think the way that they filmed and ended it, I think that's perfect. No spoilers yet. No spoilers. And Star Trek Picard, yeah, very, very impressed. Yeah. It's going to be interesting where it all goes from here. I know that Star Trek, they've just announced 2 new things as well. You've got obviously Strange New Worlds coming out very soon. But they announced recently Star Trek Academy, new series coming out, as well as a new film that's coming out as well, the Star Trek Section 31 movie. So that's really cool as well. So even though we've had these things end, it's going to be interesting with the follow-up and stuff like that, you know. But it makes you feel old because, you know, you've got Star Trek Picard that's on season 3, and obviously Mandalorian. I can't believe it's already been 3 years since they come out. They started in 2020, both of them. It doesn't seem that long ago. It just doesn't seem that long ago. I think it's because you know, what happened in 2020, and it's sort of I've said this to many people. It's almost like you've skipped a year, isn't it? It's like it's a strange one. It's very strange, but yeah, it's almost like you skipped a year. But yeah, 3 years of it already. I can't believe as well when someone says, "Oh, we're going to have Star Trek Discovery season 5." That's been going 5 years already. Once again, it just doesn't seem that long. It doesn't seem it's been going. I know some people will instantly go, "That's 5 years too long," but it's 5 years. You know, longer than Star Trek Enterprise. Just want to point that one out. Oh, and the original series as well. But yeah. Did anyone catch Ant-Man? So Ant-Man was released this week of the Quantum Mania. I didn't go to the cinema to see that. I used to go to the cinema quite a lot. Then there's this big thing that happened in 2020 and kept us all inside. And I just haven't returned to the cinema. I've got to say, I'm one of them people that just not returned. And I've waited for stuff to be released at home, and that's what I've done. So, yeah. Watch ST. Nice one. It's really wonderful. I love it. I got it on PLX. What's that? Ant-Man. It came out on Sky, so we ordered it through there, and like we do with a lot of our films now, I've got to say. And it was all right. It was better than Black Panther 3. That's what I'm going to say. That it wasn't the best one, but then I think there's a slow burn going on with the Marvel movie. So I think they're trying to build up again, aren't they? Like they did with the other films, they're just trying to build up to it. So watched Ant-Man at Cineworld 3 times. Loved it. Oh, you went to a cinema? Yeah, like I said, I have been neglecting the cinema, I have to say. I don't know why. I suppose it's just with work and everything else. Just haven't got the time. And because they were releasing them really quickly. So a lot of the Disney films, they've got like a 40... I think it's like a 46-week window. So they come out in the cinemas, and then 46 weeks later, they're on Disney+. And I think a lot of people, including myself, I've got to say, I just wait to go now. It's really bad. And also as well, the added bonus with Sky is that they have something called Sky Premiere. So it comes out in the cinema, and then a month after it's been out in the cinema, you can actually rent it through Sky. So it's still out at the cinema. And we've been doing that as well. So we haven't been missing out, but yeah, we've done that. Shopping trips. Oh, have I missed a load of? I've missed a load. Being a guy of many senior years, I cannot possibly say I'd like anything Disney, Kev. That is perfectly fine. I'm just pleasantly surprised with the Disney bill, I've got to say. Are we going to see more shopping trips like we discussed in the prop? Yes, definitely, Mark. Yep. We're going to start doing in a couple of weeks, definitely. There's a load of stuff. There's loads of new stuff turning up in shops, and like I said, we pick up a few things every now and then. And Kirsty's now started getting involved, which is brilliant. and she's doing the £50 challenge this week. So what did she pick up for £50 this week? I don't know. We'll find all out. We'll all find out. No, yeah, they can wait. She's so excited. She's so excited to show everyone. Everyone will see it. Don't worry. Cinema is great. Not many folks go in. Watched Pope's Exorcist on my own in a school. Oh, nice. John, do you know what? I think I'm part of the problem, not part of the solution. I always banter that, especially at work and stuff. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution. And cinemas are struggling at the moment, and I've got to say I'm part of the problem but I think it's a problem that the streaming services have brought upon themselves. You got Paramount Plus and Disney, and the films coming out on there, and Sky as well, and Virgin. You've it's one of those things. The Pope's Exorcist. I'm going to watch that when it comes out on Sky. But films that I've seen through Sky, I've seen loads. All the ones that are up at the cinema. And the good thing is as well with Sky is that sometimes when it comes out for rent, you have the option to buy it anyway for £20. So for £20, you get it a month after it's come out in the cinema, and you get to keep it forever. So yeah, so I think Shazam's one of them. Cocaine Bear, yeah, and 65 as well. All those films, and yeah, it's really bad. We should go to cinema. Support your local cinema, but yeah, nothing better than a large screen and great audio. Plus Baskin Robbins ice cream. Yeah, we bought a new telly at Christmas, a big TV, and it came with surround sound and a sound bar and all of that. So it's almost like a cinema. But I do like the atmosphere of cinema. I've got to say, I do like going to the cinema. I should really start going back. There's a few films the kids want to go and see. So maybe we'll treat them. But the problem I have is that we have this big, 70-odd inch TV and surround sound and stuff like that. For all of us to go to the cinema, it's nearly £48 at Cineworld for a family of 4 to go on a Saturday, and that's just the tickets, and the kids always want sweets and stuff like that. Where at home, I can wait for it to come out on Sky. It will cost me £20. I can watch it as many times as I like. It's always there as well. At the click of a button, it's always there. I can watch it whenever I like. And yeah, I've sort of come to that conclusion. I can sit at home. We can order a pizza in, and we can just watch it at home. And it's I'm not sounding great, am I? I'm not making it sound good. I love the cinema, the sounds, the smell, the excitement. Yeah, but like I said, I think that is gone now. I think, like I said, the streaming services, us being locked in, us being used to stuff turning up on the streaming services, kind of ruined that. Really, I like going to the cinema, but it's cost and everything else, isn't it? Really, I used to love going to the cinema, but we got Sky Q with the 65-inch option. My grandson loves standing right in front of it. Well, we've got this big TV that we bought before Christmas, and I thought it'd be great. And when the kids get in front of it, even with a big TV like that, oh my god, it's great for games. I've got to say, it's great for playing video games on. But yeah, we were looking at bigger ones actually, and we were looking at bigger sizes than what we got. But you just couldn't get it in. The only other option, I suppose, is a projector. So, but yeah, totally get what you mean. Not too keen on the cinema, no. You're not, are you? Yeah, and obviously, Kirsty's got hearing aids, so cost me £11 a month. Brilliant value. That's with the CinePass, isn't it? I was looking at one of them, but in order for us to get one, I'd have to pay that 4 times, and I suppose it's when you go to the cinema. I mean, trying to get time to go to the cinema at the moment with work and builds and stuff like that. It's just trying to fit everything in. So others eating and drinking. Yeah, I mean, a few times. I mean, I went to go and see. I'll tell you what film that ruined that. Cinema goers ruined it for me. And that was when I went to see the Fast and Furious. I think it was 9, the last one, or 8. It was one of them. I think it was 8. We went to the cinema, and it was on a Saturday night. It was completely packed, but there was a lot of shouting, and people just arsing about, and it really put us off. Because we went there to enjoy it. There was a lot of other people pissed off as well, so I say. But yeah, yeah. And Kirsty's hearing aids, they pick up everything. You know. So that's another thing as well. But like you said, John, I love going. What I used to love doing is going during the week at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because like you said, you're normally the only one in there, and it's nice and quiet, and everything. That's brilliant. But it's you know, when you go on a Saturday night and it's busy, or a Friday night, I tend to find some people ruin it, and that ruins the experience a little bit. Just personal experience, really. But I do love sitting at home and just watching it on Sky. I do enjoy that. But they've ruined it for us. I think they've ruined it all for us, haven't they? Really, all these streaming services. Anyway, look, it's that time again. It's come to that time again that I must say goodbye. And off into the sunset I go. I hope you have a nice week this week. We've obviously got the £50 challenge this week. We've got the brilliant hoverboards from Ian this week as well, so keep an eye out for that. We've got all our builds this week except the tumbler. Next week is issue 10, and after that it's every week, so every single week then back to weekly. So yeah, there's all of that, and some more stuff coming out. I'm hoping stuff turns up this week, because then I can do my video on Robocop. But fingers crossed that all plays out really well. But thank you guys for turning up. Thank you for talking. Thank you for keeping me sane. And I hope that you like the content that I'm doing. And thanks for joining me. I like I said, I love doing this. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time for another live stream. Until then, thank you very much. And as always, we'll see you at the next video. And so until then, take it easy, guys. See you later.